Hello and welcome to Replacement Player Baseball. Today we're going to see Game 2 between the Cubs and Rockies in Coors Field. The Rockies took Game 1 in a 6-5 decision with a late home run off the Cubs bullpen. Let's see if today's game turns out a little bit different. The Cubs will be sending starter Jonathan Loaiza out to the mound. He was in the rotation earlier in the year, and now he's pitched out of the bullpen for a while. But he is making a start in today's game due to the doubleheader that was played earlier in the week. Loaiza is making appearance number 45. He is 5-6 with a 4.53 ERA and a 1.25 WHIP. The Cubs lineup today will include Tauchman, Rizzo, Bryant, Happ, Bradley, Ramos, Hayward, Horner, and Loaiza, the pitcher, batting ninth. German Marquez is going to be the Rockies starter. He is making start number 29. He is 11-5 with a 4.39 ERA and a 1.30 WHIP. The Rockies lineup will be Story, Dahl, Blackmon, Arenado, Murphy, Rogers, Hampson, Gomes, and Marquez is going to bat ninth. It is 64 degrees in Colorado today. The wind is blowing left to right at 9 mph. And let's get this game underway. The Rockies are coming out onto the field as the national anthem subsides in the background. Marquez is on the mound to face the Cubs' leadoff hitter, Mike Tauchman. The Cubs coming into today's game at 2 games under 500 and 4 games out of the wild card. Second place in the NL Central at 71-73. The Rockies come in at 71-75, third place in the National League West. Marquez is on the mound, looking for the sign, and here's going to be the first pitch to Tauchman. And there's a grounder up the middle. Second baseman has it, throws over to first. That is out number 1. Rizzo now batting with 1 out and nobody on. Marquez facing Rizzo with an 0-2 count. And Rizzo's waiting for the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So that's a changeup, and Rizzo swung way out in front of it. And now Chris Bryant is the batter with 2 outs and nobody on. A full count pitch to Chris Bryant. A grounder toward third, picked up by Arenado, thrown over to third, and that will end the inning. So the Cubs retired in order in the first. We're going to the bottom of the first of a scoreless ball game. Trevor Story leading off against Jonathan Loaiza here in the bottom of the first inning. A 1-ball, 1-strike count, and the bunt is laid down. The first baseman Rizzo has it. He throws to first, and the throw is late. So a bunt single for Trevor Story to lead off the game for the Rockies. And now David Dahl is the batter, facing Loaiza with a 1-2 count and a swing and a miss for strike 3. So Dahl strikes out swinging, and now Blackmon is the batter. 1 out, 1 man on, 3-1 is the count, and a grounder in front of the plate. The catcher pops up, throws to first, but he's safe. Ramos did not have a good angle on that play. He had to take an extra step out to be able to throw down to first, and that gave Blackmon enough time to beat out the infield hit. He has now hit safely in 11 consecutive games. So Arenado now is the batter with 1 out, runners on first and second, and a 1-strike pitch to Arenado. And that's crushed straight away center field. Kiss it goodbye. Arenado hits the 3-run shot out to straightaway center field. 450 feet, and Colorado has a 3-0 lead in the bottom of the first inning. Looking just like yesterday's game. Daniel Murphy now the batter with 1 out, nobody on. 2-1 is the count from Loaiza. And here's the pitch. Liner up the middle, that's going to be caught by the second baseman Happ, and that is out number 2. Nice play by Happ to stop that from getting into the outfield, and now Rogers is the batter. With a full count, 2 men out, nobody on base. Loaiza with the pitch, and a swing and a miss for strike 3. That was a fastball at 96, and he blew it right by him. We're going to the top of the second. It is a 3-0 ball game. Ian Happ now leading off against Marquez in the top of the second. 2-2 count. Happ waiting for the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So that is the first out of the second inning, and it brings up Bradley with 1 out, nobody on. Bradley waiting for the first pitch from Marquez. And a grounder towards second, picked up, thrown over to first. That is out number 2. Marquez now facing Wilson Ramos with 2 outs, nobody on base. Ramos waiting for the pitch. And that's crushed left center field, looking up and watching it leave is the left fielder, David Dahl. And that is a 428-foot home run for Wilson Ramos. And the Cubs have made this a 3-1 ball game. That never say die spirit is what the Cubs need today. And Hayward is now the batter with 2 outs and nobody on. 1-1 is the count. Hayward waiting for the pitch. Grounder towards second. Picked up, thrown over to first. That is going to retire the side. The Cubs score a run on the Ramos solo home run. We're going to the bottom of the second of a 3-1 ball game. Loaiza facing Hampson here in the bottom of the second inning. Here's a 1-ball count. Loaiza with the pitch. Popped up left side. The left fielder is tracking toward the line, and he makes the catch for out number 1. Loaiza now facing Gomes with 1 out, nobody on. Here's the first pitch to Yan Gomes. And a grounder towards short, picked up, thrown over to first, that is out number 2. Marquez now the batter, 2 outs and nobody on. And here is the pitch to Marquez. Grounder towards second, picked up by Happ, thrown over to first to retire the side. The Rockies are retired in order in the second. We're going to the top of the third of a 3-1 ball game. Nico Horner, playing shortstop today, is going to lead off against Marquez in the top of the third. Here is the first pitch to Horner. And a liner to straightaway center field. That is going to be caught by Hampson for out number 1. Loaiza now facing Marquez with 1 out and nobody on. Here's a 1-2 pitch to John Loaiza. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. So Loaiza is the second out of the inning, and it brings up Mike Tauschman. With 2 outs and nobody on, here's a 2-0 pitch to Mike Tauschman. Popped up right center field. Heading over is Hampson, getting close to the track, and he makes the catch for out number 3. Cubs are retired in order in the third. We're going to the bottom of the third inning of a 3-1 ball game. Loaiza now facing Story in the bottom of the third. Here's a 1-1 count and the pitch. A bunt is laid down. Loaiza reacts quickly, throwing to first, and the runner is retired. So the Cubs were ready for it that time. And now David Dahl is the batter. With 1 out, nobody on. 3-1 is the pitch from Loaiza. Strike. Oh, that was a ball? All right, I thought that was a strike. Loaiza thought it was a strike. Ramos thought it was a strike. But the umpire signaled ball 4. So now Blackman is the batter. With 1 out and 1 man on, here's a 1-1 pitch to Blackman, and that's lined into right field. Coming in fast, playing it on the hop is Hayward. The throw goes to third. The runner is attempting to advance first to third. Dahl slides, and the throw is late. So a 1-out single puts runners on the corners, and Nolan Arenado is up again. He hit a 3-run homer in his first at-bat in the first inning. Now he's here in the third inning with 2 men on and 1 out. And Loaiza, with a 1-strike count, delivering the pitch. Popped up, this time going to be caught on the infield. Bryant calling off the shortstop and making the catch for out number 2. Daniel Murphy now the batter. With 2 outs, runners on the corners. Loaiza trying to escape this inning. Here's a full count pitch to Daniel Murphy. Here it comes. Grounder up the middle, gets past the shortstop into center field. 1 run is in. The throw goes to the cutoff man. The runner from first advances to third. It is now a 4-1 Rockies lead. So Daniel Murphy with the 2-out RBI single brings up Brendan Rodgers. Runners on the corners, 1-strike count, 2 outs, and Loaiza has been relieved by Tariq Skubal. Here's the pitch. Liner into left field, going to be played on a hop out and left by Tauschman. Another run is driven in. It is now 5-1 Colorado. That's an RBI single for Brendan Rodgers. And Garrett Hampson now is the batter with 2 outs. Runners on first and second. Here's a 1-ball count and the pitch. A liner up the middle. That's another base hit. So the center fielder Bradley has it. The runner's coming home. The throw comes home. And he is safe at home. Man, this umpire, I believe he needs a new prescription. The Rockies extend their lead to 6-1 as 3 runs have crossed here in the bottom of the third inning. Skubal is now facing Gomes with 2 outs and runners on first and third. Here's a full count pitch and a grounder towards second. Picked up by Happ, thrown over to first, and the inning is over. The Rockies score 3 more times. It is a 6-1 game going into the top of the 4th inning. Rizzo now facing Marquez. Cubs dig themselves in a hole here in the top of the 4th. Here is the first pitch to Rizzo. And a grounder right in front of the plate. Picked up by the catcher, thrown down to first. That is out number 1. Bryant now batting with 1 out, nobody on. 1-2 is the count to Bryant. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. So Bryant chases the slider, and that will be the end of his at-bat. Ian Happ now batting with 2 outs, nobody on. 2-2 count to Ian Happ. And strike 3 is called. So Marquez gets his 5th strikeout of the game. The Cubs are retired in order in the 4th. We're going to the bottom of the 4th inning of a 6-1 ball game. Marquez facing Skubal here in the bottom of the 4th. 1-2 is the count. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. So Skubal strikes out the pitcher to begin the inning. And now Trevor Story is the batter. Wonder if he's going to try to lay down another bunt here. 1 out, nobody on. 1 ball count to Trevor Story. And he pops this one up to right. Hayward coming in fast. And he's going to get under it to make the catch for out number 1. Out number 2. Dahl now batting with 2 outs and nobody on. Skubal facing Dahl with a 3-1 count. And there's a liner into left field. That's going to be a base hit. Kind of a seeing eye single into no man's land there in short left field. And now Blackman is the batter with 2 outs and a runner on first. Here's a 1-strike count and the pitch to Blackman. The grounder is to second. The throw to first, and that retires the side. The Rockies do not score in the 4th. We're going to the top of the 5th inning of a 6-1 ball game. Bradley is going to face Marquez here in the top of the 5th inning. Bradley leading off for the Cubs with an 0-2 count, waiting for the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Bradley strikes out to begin the inning. 6 strikeouts on the day for Marquez, and now Wilson Ramos is the batter. Hit a home run his last time up. Here's a full count pitch to Ramos. And that's ball 4, low and away. So Ramos draws the walk, and now Hayward comes up with 1 out, 1 man on. Marquez facing the lefty Hayward, and there's a grounder to first. Picked up, thrown to second. The relay to first, and that is a 3-6-3 double play. So the Cubs ground out of the inning on a double play, and we're going to the bottom of the 5th now of a 6-1 game. Skubal is going to face Arenado in the bottom of the 5th inning. 0-2 is the count, and a swing and a miss for strike 3. So Arenado chased one out of the zone, and Skubal gets his 2nd strikeout of the game. Murphy now batting, 1 out, nobody on. Skubal facing Murphy with a full count, and here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So Murphy goes down swinging for the 2nd out, and Rogers is the next batter. 2 outs and nobody on. 1-1 is the count. Here it comes. Liner down the left field line, that's going to be a base hit. Rounding first and heading for second is Rogers. He's going to stand up with a double, and that will be a 2-out base hit for the Rockies. Bringing up now Hampson with 2 outs, runner in scoring position. Cubs down by 5. Here's a 2-1 count and the pitch from Skubal. And a grounder to third. Bryant picks it up, flings it over to first, and that is out number 3. We're going to the top of the 6th inning. It is a 6-1 Rockies lead. Nico Horner is going to come up against Marquez here in the top of the 6th inning. Full count, Horner waiting for the pitch. That is outside for ball 4, and Horner draws the leadoff walk. So now Jay Bruce is going to pinch hit for the pitcher's spot here in the top of the 6th inning. Bruce has been on fire lately. He comes up with nobody out, runner on first. Full count pitch to Jay Bruce. Marquez looking for the sign. And that is low. It is ball 4, so Bruce draws the walk. And that brings up the top of the Cubs lineup. Tauschman is the next batter. Nobody out, runners on first and second. Cubs trying to mount a rally here in the top of the 6th inning. 1-2 count. Tauschman lines that one in the gap in left center field. It's going all the way to the wall. 1 run is going to score. Bruce is rounding third. He is going to stop there, however. So the Cubs have made this a 6-2 ball game with an RBI double off of the bat of Mike Tauschman. And now Rizzo will be the next batter. Runners on second and third with nobody out in the top of the 6th inning. Cubs down by 4. Here's the first pitch to Rizzo, and he grounds it to second. The throw goes to first, and Rizzo is retired for the first out of the inning. However, in the process of that play, the runner from third comes home to score, and it is now a 6-3 ball game. Chris Bryant now batting with 1 out and a runner on third. Any ball out of the infield might score this run. Here's a full count pitch to Bryant, and he draws the walk. So he heads down to first. That is a low fastball, and it brings up Ian Happ with 1 out and runners on the corners. Cubs down by 3 in the top of the 6th inning. Here's an 0-2 pitch to Happ, and he grounds that one past the first baseman into right field. 1 run is in. Bryant rounding second. He's heading for third. Happ is going to cruise into second with a double. Bryant actually aggressively is running all the way home. So the Cubs have now made this a 6-4 ball game as Happ comes up with the RBI double, and it's 6-5 with the run that Bryant scored. And now the Rockies are going to bring in a relief pitcher. This is going to be Fernando Abad. Abad has been very Abad this year. He has thrown 43 1/3 innings, 14 walks, 38 strikeouts with a 5.61 ERA. Abad is going to face Bradley with the tying run on second and 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning. 4 runs are already in. Here's the first pitch to Jackie Bradley. And the Cubs trying to complete this comeback. There's a liner into center field. That's going to be another base hit. Is Happ going to try to score? No. The third base coach puts up the stop sign. Bradley has a 1-out single, and now Ramos comes up with runners on the corners and 1 out. Ramos facing Abad. The shift is on. The infield is drawn in a 6-5 ball game. Here's the first pitch to Ramos, and the runner goes. Bradley trying to steal second. He slides, and he is out. So that is the second out of the inning. Bradley is caught stealing at second. You know, if this were Little League, that runner would have tried to score from third, but apparently that was not the play. So Ramos now batting with 2 outs and a runner up 90 feet away. 1-1 count. Ramos waiting for the pitch. And a liner into center field. That's going to be another base hit. The game is tied. A RBI single by Wilson Ramos caps the Cubs rally. We now have a brand new ball game. 5 runs have scored to make this a 6-6 game in the top of the 6th inning. And now Jason Hayward is the batter with 2 outs and a runner on first. 1 strike is the count, and the throw goes to first, and they pick him off. Oh, Abad picks off Bradley to end the inning. He caught him sleeping over there at first. We're going now to the bottom of the 6th. It is Ramos. He caught Ramos sleeping over at first. So we're going to the bottom of the 6th inning of a 6-6 tie here in Denver. Gomes is going to lead off against the new Cub reliever, Sammy T. He comes in with 41 1/3 innings thrown, 25 walks, 41 strikeouts, and a 6.75 ERA. Sammy T facing Gomes, 2-0 count, and here is the pitch. And there's a grounder to third, past the third baseman. Bryant dives, but it gets past him. And that's going to be a double as he comes into second with an extra base hit. So Gomes leads off the inning with an extra base hit, and it brings up Ian Desmond. Desmond came in on the double switch, which put Abad in the number 7 spot as the relief pitcher. Ian Desmond, with 4 home runs on the year and batting .250, comes up to, not really a pinch hitter, but he's the defensive replacement in left field for the Rockies. So he is going to face Tuivailala with nobody out, 1 man on. Here's a 1-2 count and a liner into right field. That's going to drive in the run. Hayward plays it on a hop. Oh, the runner stops at third, though. They do not want to test Hayward's arm. So the runners now are on first and third with nobody out. And Sammy T is working to Trevor Story here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Here's a 3-1 count, and that is low for ball 4. Man, these games do not lack drama. So Story draws the walk. Desmond heads down to second. Sammy T has loaded the bases with nobody out in the bottom of the 6th inning, and now Dahl is the batter with the Always dangerous Blackman and Arenado coming up next. Here's a 2-0 count and the pitch. And a grounder to second. Happ has it. Oh, did he drop it? I think Happ might have misplayed the ball. And so everybody is safe. The Rockies have now taken a 7-6 lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning. The bases are still loaded. There is nobody out. And Sammy T is facing Charlie Blackman with a 1-strike count. And here is the pitch from Sammy T. And that's lined in the gap in left center field. This is going to drive in a couple. Blackman heading for extra bases. The ball rolls all the way to the wall. 2 runs are in. An RBI double for Blackman as Bradley gets the ball back in quickly. And now it is a 9-6 lead in favor of the Rockies. Sammy T will now face Nolan Arenado with nobody out, runners on first and on second and third. Arenado coming up, 1 for 3 with a home run earlier in the game. Here's an 0-2 pitch and a pop up to center field, deep but playable. Going back to the track is Bradley, and he makes the catch for out number 1. The runner on third is going to tag up and come home. It is now a 10-6 Rockies lead as they have scored 4 times here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And now the Cubs are going to bring in a new relief pitcher as Kerry Wood signals for the righty out of the bullpen. Trevor Rosenthal is going to be the new reliever. He comes in having thrown 63 1/3 innings, allowed 38 walks, 72 strikeouts with a .99 ERA. Rosenthal, apparently maybe just coming off of a appearance on The Price is Right, is going to face Daniel Murphy with a runner on second and 1 out in the bottom of the 6th inning. Here's a 1-1 count, and Rosenthal looking for the sign. And here's the pitch. Popped up, short center field. Bradley coming in fast. He gets under it to make the catch. That is out number 2. So Rosenthal induces the pop-up, which brings up Rogers with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. 1-2 count. Rosenthal with the pitch. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. So Rosenthal gets him with the fastball at 99, and that will end the inning. The Rockies score 4 times, sending 8 runners to the plate. We're going to the top of the 7th. It is a 10-6 Rockies lead. Jason Hayward is going to lead off against Fernando Abad here in the top of the 7th. Hayward 0 for 2 today. 2-ball count, Abad with the pitch. That's a grounder to the right side. The second baseman has it, throws to first, and that is out number 1. Horner now batting with 1 out and nobody on. Here's a 1-strike pitch to Nico Horner. And that's hit high, deep left field. It should be playable on the warning track, and making the catch is Desmond for out number 2. And now Tyler O'Neill is going to pinch hit for the pitcher's spot here in the top of the 7th. The righty O'Neill is going to face the lefty Abad with 2 outs and nobody on. A 2-2 count. Abad with the pitch. And there's a swing and a miss for strike 3, so that will end the inning. The Cubs are retired in order. We're going to the bottom of the 7th of a 10-6 ball game. John Lester now brought in from the Cubs bullpen. He is going to throw in relief in the bottom of the 7th. Lester has thrown 89 innings on the season, allowed 32 walks, 71 strikeouts, and a .516 ERA. Lester will face Duvall in the bottom of the 7th, leading off for the Rockies. Rockies sending up the 7, 8, and 9 batters in this inning. Lester working with the pitch. Lined into center field, coming in fast is Bradley. He makes the running catch for out number 1. Gomes now the batter. 1 for 3 on the day. Here's a 1-ball count, and Lester with the pitch. Lined into center field, this one will drop in for a base hit. Bradley cuts it off, but a single for Gomes will bring up the number 9 spot, Ian Desmond, with 1 out and 1 man on. Here's a 1-ball pitch. Lester working, grounder toward third, sharply hit, throw to second, relay to first, and a 5-4-3 double play will end the inning. So the Cubs defense goes around the horn. The Rockies do not score. We're going to the top of the 8th of a 4-run Rocky lead. And now Scott Oberg is going to be the reliever. He comes in with 55 innings thrown, 29 walks, 55 strikeouts, 3.76 ERA. We're in the top of the 8th inning. Tauschman will face Oberg to lead off for the Cubs. 1-2 count. Tauschman waiting for the pitch. And there's a grounder toward first. Picked up, steps on first, and that is going to make the first out of the inning. Rizzo now batting, 1 out, nobody on. Full count pitch to Anthony Rizzo. And here it comes. Swing and a miss for strike 3, and Rizzo goes down swinging. Bryant now the batter with 2 outs and nobody on. 1-2 count to Chris Bryant. Here's the pitch. Liner right at the third baseman, and Arenado makes the catch to end the inning. We're going to the bottom of the 8th of a 10-6 ball game. Lester continuing to work. He'll face the top of the Rockies lineup in this inning. Story, Dahl, and Blackman due up here in the bottom of the 8th. 1 strike count. Lester with the pitch. Grounder towards second. Picked up, thrown to first, and thrown away. Oh, that one gets away. So Story is going to make it all the way to second on the Happ throwing error. And now the Rockies have the leadoff runner in scoring position. And David Dahl coming up. Bottom of the 8th inning, 2-2 count. Lester working to Dahl. Lined into center field. That's deep. Bradley going back. He makes an acrobatic catch, saving an extra base hit out in center field. So the runner does tag up and advance to third. That's Story. Bradley making the catch with his back to the infield. Had no chance of getting that back in time. And now Blackman is the batter. 1 out, runner on third. 2-2 count. Lester working to Blackman. And here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Lester gets him with the high cheese. And that is going to bring up Nolan Arenado with 2 outs and 1 man on. Lester trying to work his way out of this inning. Full count. Popped up behind second base. The shortstop goes over. He makes the play. And that ends the inning. So the Rockies get a runner on an error, but they do not score. We're going to the top of the 9th of a 10-6 ball game. Happ now facing Oberg to lead off the Cubs half of the 9th. Happ coming up, 1 strike count. Here's the pitch. And he pops that one up to left. Coming in is the left fielder, and he makes the catch. That is going to be out number 1. And now Bradley is up, and it looks like Kerry Wood is going to pinch hit right here. Danny Santana is going to be pinch hitting against Oberg here in the top of the 9th inning with 1 out and nobody on. Santana, the switch hitter, batting from the left side against the righty Oberg. Here's an 0-2 count and the pitch to Santana. And he takes strike 3 looking. That is going to be out number 2. So the strikeout is Oberg's second, and it brings up the catcher Ramos. With 2 outs and nobody on, here's a full count pitch to Wilson Ramos. And that's lined into right field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. So Ramos, with a 2-out single, is now standing on first, and Jason Hayward is the batter. So Hayward facing the lefty McGee here in the top of the 9th inning with 2 outs and a runner on first. And now we see that Kerry Wood is going to call Hayward back and send Isaac Paradas up with 2 outs and a runner on first. The righty Paradas will face the lefty McGee here in the top of the 9th inning. Cubs down to their final out, runner on first. Paradas waiting for the 3-1 count. And here is the pitch from McGee. That is outside for ball 4, so Paradas draws the walk. And now the next batter is going to be Nico Horner with 2 outs, 2 men on. Horner facing McGee here in the top of the 9th inning. And Horner waiting for the 1-strike pitch. And he grounds that one to first. Picked up, steps on the base is Murphy, and that is going to end the inning. So the Cubs get a couple of base runners. However, the game is over. The Rockies win 10-6. The Rockies getting 10 runs on 14 hits with no errors. The Cubs getting 6 runs on 6 hits with 1 error. We see that the player of today's game is the Cubs' Wilson Ramos. He went 3 for 3 with 2 RBIs, a run scored, and a walk drawn. And Ramos hit a home run with 2 outs in the second inning, giving the Cubs their first run of this ball game. Sammy T is going to suffer the loss. He got 1 out and allowed 4 hits, a walk, and 4 runs to score, allowing the Rockies to take their eventual game-winning lead. Abad gets the win. He goes to 2-1 as the Rockies bullpen combined for 3 2/3 innings of scoreless relief. So the Cubs, dropping to 71 and 74, actually fall behind the Rockies in the wild card race now, who are at 72 and 75. Thank you for watching Replacement Player Baseball.